been a while since I've come to you live in the middle of the week. Sorry about that. Weeks have just been a little bit crazy. Last week I was actually, this time of the day, I was probably on a plane on my way to Seattle. So I wasn't able to obviously go live then. So that was just how it was. But we've started our good news series, and I'm really excited for what God has for us through this series. I think there's a lot the Lord wants to teach us in this, and I've been really excited about this for a while. So um, I hope you are as well. I know this week is Thanksgiving week, and hopefully there's a lot in your life to be thankful for. I hope you've been focusing in on what there is to be thankful to the Lord for. And so not sure what that means for you in this season of life, whether that's an abundance of Thanksgiving or if it's more of a searching for Thanksgiving in the midst of a tougher season. So just to recap a little bit of what we talked about Sunday, our message Sunday was about being faulty messengers. The reality that we have been called to take this good news to the world. We've called to be the light of the world and to take this message of hope and deliverance and of beautiful salvation to the world. The only problem is we are terrible messengers. We are not a perfect reflection of God's goodness. Despite having been saved, despite being Christians and all of the good stuff that comes with that, we tend to mess this up pretty bad. And so what does that mean for us? That we've been called to do something we're just not good at. We talked a little bit about that speech to text thing. Like, God speaks it and we're supposed to kind of live it out. We're supposed to be that spoken word to the world, and we get it wrong a lot, and it's shocking how often we get it wrong, and yet God still calls us to do it. So my hope for you is, as we go through this, as we talk through what it means to be faulty messengers, the good news is you realize, man, this is going to require a lot more than what I'm capable of. Sunday we talked about how the most important aspect of being messengers for Christ is to be Holy Spirit dependent, to be totally dependent on the Holy Spirit. And what does that mean for us? What does that mean to be filled with the Spirit? Sunday we dove a little bit into that. I know we didn't cover it in full detail. If you do want more information on that, certainly go back to our Abide series and go to the Fruitful Branches sermon of that series. We talked a little bit more in depth on what it means to be filled with the Spirit, certainly the difference between being indwelled with the Spirit and filled with the Spirit. My personal belief, the way I read the scriptures, I believe it shows this filling of the Spirit to be a situational thing that's not a one-time event, but can happen multiple times and should happen multiple times and frequently throughout our Christian life, where we are filled with the Spirit. In the Bible, it talks about Peter being filled with the Spirit, obviously post-salvation, after he was well into his ministry, that he was filled with the Spirit. And I believe that's true of us as well, that we can have Christ in us, but doesn't mean we're fully surrendered in that moment, doesn't mean we're fully surrendered in a situation, that we need to be filled with the Spirit. And I believe that filling means an emptying of ourself. And so as you go throughout your week this week, I don't want to get too much into Sunday sermon. I almost started giving you Sunday sermon. I'll give you a little bit because I feel like it ties very much into this hope, is into the topic we're talking about. This Sunday is the first Sunday of Advent. We're talking about hope. And there should be an expectation. There should be an expectation of the Lord showing up. There should be an expectation of the Holy Spirit moving in our life and showing up and filling us. I mean, that should be every day. We're not talking like, that one Sunday a year when the Lord shows up. We're talking every single day of our lives. It's literally the only way to live, is to live with this expectation that Christ can show up, that the Holy Spirit's going to show up in our life today, that he's going to do something amazing today, that we're going to interact with somebody where we're going to need the Holy Spirit today. We're going to have an encounter with someone that we're going to need the Holy Spirit. I mean, that should be the Christian life. Every day that we live in a way that motivates us to seek the Holy Spirit in all circumstances, because we're all ministers of the gospel. We talked, one of the quotes Sunday is this great lie of the enemy that ministry is supposed to be done only by professionals. And then what a lie that is. Just because I'm a pastor doesn't mean that I'm the only one called to be a messenger of the Lord. This goal for so long in church has been to get people to church, as if somehow that was the goal of the gospel. And it's never. You won't see anything in the gospels that talks about this goal of getting people to church. The goal is getting people to the kingdom. Getting people before Jesus and letting them wrestle with what they're going to do with Jesus. That's our goal, and that's your job. Each and every day, your job is to get people to Jesus, to get yourself out of the way, to get yourself, your preferences, your ideas, your methods out of the way, and get people to Jesus and let them wrestle with. I mean, you can't force people to want Jesus. You can't force people to be a Christian, but we can certainly get them to Jesus and see what happens there. And so my hope is every day, especially through this holiday season, maybe a renewed hope, a renewed excitement to be a messenger for Jesus, which means bringing people to Jesus, being Jesus to people, and allowing them to encounter Jesus in a new and a fresh way through you, not through bringing them to church or getting them to watch something or any of that other stuff, but they should encounter Jesus by encountering you. And that will require Holy Spirit dependence, that we would lean so heavy into the Holy Spirit everywhere we go. When people encounter us, they would encounter Jesus. What a blessing that would be. So that's a little bit of recap from Sunday. I hope that impacted you as deeply as it impacted me. I know for me, it's been certainly a wake-up call to be engaging the Holy Spirit and living expectantly. We'll talk a little bit about that Sunday. What hope means. It means to live expectantly. And so I hope that's part of your life. I hope that's the DNA of your life. And I hope you would be a messenger this week. I hope, despite your faultiness, despite our inability to do it on our own, that you would lean into the power of the Holy Spirit. He would do awesome things. My hope and prayer is that there will be awesome testimonies that come out of this as we take the good news to people's bad news, because there's so much bad news. And we have been sent to take the good news, take the light into the darkness. So I hope your week is blessed with that. I hope you have awesome opportunities to be the light in your context, wherever you are and whatever that looks like. And I hope to see you Sunday. I hope your Thanksgiving is awesome. Today is Wednesday, right? So tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So I hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving tomorrow, or whenever you celebrate that. For us, we celebrate it Friday. We'll be down with my brother and family, so that's exciting for me. And I hope you have a truly blessed Thanksgiving. I hope the Lord brings to remembrance all of the things we have and you have to be grateful for. And I hope you spend it with family or friends or whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you're just doing it alone in your house this year, and whatever that looks like, I hope the Lord fills your heart with joy and with thanksgiving. And I hope that pours out into every area of your life. And I hope to see you Sunday in person, preferably. But if not, we'll see you here online 10:30. Have a great week. Be blessed, and certainly have a blessed Thanksgiving.